what I want to talk to you about are several little short items that are kind of informative for people that want to know about what it's like here in Chile and expenses and some other ideas. But stay along for the ride, and hopefully you guys can pick up some information on a different lifestyle here. I hate the word lifestyle. A different way of living here in Chile, and the way they do things here, which are not necessarily wrong or right. It's just the way they do it. So here we go. Okay, so I'd like to talk to y'all a little unscripted about some things that people have asked me about down here. Many of you know or may not know, I don't know, I was a real estate appraiser, and I had my own company for almost 23 years, something like that in the United States. And I was also a real estate broker and real estate developer before the market and the government stole everything from me. So I know how to read markets, I know how to sell real estate, and I've started to do that here at Higgins. Just through people asking me to do it, they found out what I did, and now I'm doing it. So in either case, I wanted to give some people a little perspective about the real estate market here in Chile. Okay, so people can get a feel. I'm always getting questions about, well, how much does this cost, and how much that costs, and how much can I buy, and what can I do and not do, and on and on. Well, to give you an idea, I have 6 acres here, give or take, a half acre, and it had on it only the shack, which had the cabana, which had no doors in it, and the windows were busted out, no bathroom, no water, no heat, no electricity, no nothing. It had no fencing on it. It did have a well, which is no big deal here. With the spring, if you go look at my past YouTubes, you'll see that. I paid $25,000 for this piece of property, 6 acres. So I'm pretty pleased with that. And that was 2 years ago that I bought the property. It seems like yesterday. But what's happening to this area is, in all of Chile, is the values are going up. I mean, the price of real estate is going up. They stopped making land here. They just stopped. God has not made any more real estate in Chile, so there's a lot of people that want to move here. I think they want to move here for maybe the same reasons I moved here. I look at the stability, the extremely low crime. There's less crime here for me than there was in the United States where I lived. I lived in Boiling Springs, South Carolina. And the last year or and a half, I lived in or 2, 3 years, something like that, I lived in a rental property that I owned in a nice rental property neighborhood. I was getting $750 a month per side, which is high rent. And there were shootings in my neighborhood all the time. I mean, people shooting each other and shooting at each other, and that's fine. I think people should have the right to carry a weapon. I'm not arguing that, but there was murders all the time up there. The last murder within a 45-minute drive of me has occurred over a year ago. The little town that I'm 15 minutes from, the closest town to me, has not had a murder in recorded history. You're not going to find that in Panama. You're not going to find that in Belize. You're not going to find that in Ecuador. You're not going to find that in, for sure, Brazil. Just stay away from Brazil and Colombia, because they're killing each other like they're cordwood there. You're not going to find that in Costa Rica. The crime there is, from the people that I'm talking to, there's outrageous. It scares them. I have a friend that lives in Brazil, in Sao Paulo, and it's so bad there that they're leaving. They had a big estancia, and somebody came into their house with AK-47s that held them to their head and wanted all their money. Thank goodness they had money to give them. You don't walk outside in Brazil, in Sao Paulo, with a wedding band on, because you'll come back without the wedding band and your finger missing, or maybe just the wedding band if you're lucky, and still have your life. So No crime almost here. Now, I will say in Santiago, there's crime. It's a big city, just like Los Angeles or Miami or whatever. They love crime in cities. You put more people closer together, you're going to have more crime. That rings true for Osorno, which is near me as well, but it's extremely or markedly less than it is in Santiago. It's a much smaller city. And they do have serious police here, and they're not corrupt. The police here are pretty good, but you don't mess with them because they're going to put you in jail if you have to go there, and thank God. I want that. Because of these things, the stability of the government's a little bit more stable. There's a mix, it's 50-50 here of conservative versus liberal side, leftist, rightist, communist versus capitalists, basically what it comes to. You call communists United States Democrats, so you know what a communist is. It's the same thing. Okay, so because of these things, it's become more expensive to live here because people like that stability. You don't find that stability in Uruguay. You don't find that stability in Argentina. Okay. Back to the value thing. I'm sorry, I get off my little tangents. So, I live on less than $1,000 a month. That's after I paid for my land, which was $25,000, and after I built my house and everything, which is not done, obviously. I live off of less than $1,000 a month, and that's me, Lori, and my two sons, my two adult sons, 18 and 20. So you can do that. You can live here cheaply, but you need to come here with enough money or enough gumption in your head to be able to go and find a piece of property and be patient. It took me a year and a half, almost 2 years to find my property at this price and to settle down here. Taxes. What about the taxes here? I hate taxes. I don't want to. I want to own my house. I want the government. I want to rent from the government. If you live in the United States, I don't know where you can live there and not be renting from the government. I guess there are some states that have no property tax, like what is that, Florida or something. Here, I have agricultural use for my land, so I have no taxes for that reason. But the other reason is I'm way out in the sticks and I have no taxes. The rules are that if you build a house and it's not registered with a local municipality, and my local community, pueblo, comunidad is Puerto Octai. I'm not registered with them. They know I'm here. If I did, I'd pay about $25 American taxes a year. What does that cover? I haven't figured that out. So you can choose not to pay it, and then if you ever want to sell your house to someone that wants to get a mortgage on it, the bank is going to require the house to be registered with a local municipality. I'm not. I don't want to sell my house to anybody that wants to get a mortgage here anyways. That's limiting me, and then I got to pay for things I don't want to pay for some stupid bank that has to follow some bureaucratic stupidity just so they make money. I'm not going to do that. The other thing is, if you move far enough out here, you will be in like a county, so to speak. But the farther you are away from any municipality, really, they're not going to come say anything to you. I've never had anybody from Puerto Octai, knock on OSB, come to me and say, "Oh, you need taxes." And if they did, I'd probably say, "Okay, I'll pay it." But I'm understanding from people that if you're an hour away out in the sticks, they don't know you're out there and they don't care. Of course, I've got my own power, I've got my own water, I've got my own stuff, so they can't say to me, "Well, we're going to not allow you to connect to the local power grid unless you register with us. Or we're not going to give you a permit to build." There are no permits. There are no inspections, So from that perspective, the freedom is still here. It's coming. Yeah, because the wonderful plan of the UN, United Nations, funded by the United States, is to sell all those stupid governmental bureaucratic things to provide big people with little brains to sit on their big butts and do nothing all day. Bureaucrats. They create these laws to give people jobs. Okay, they haven't figured that out so much here. The government's pretty small here. It's tiny compared to the United States. They don't have the money the United States has. So you're not going to have the social services, DSS, or family services knocking on your door. "Well, you're homeschooling, we're going to take your kid." That don't happen here. They don't have anybody to do that. I mean, first of all, they got to fine you, and second of all, they got to knock on your door, and they won't come through my gate. They don't. They're afraid to come in. They ain't gonna happen. So, anyways, the value of real estate, you can have some deals here, but you need to realize that the values are going up here because more gringos are moving here. My druthers is no gringos moved here. I don't even want to making this video if that's the case, but that's my druthers, because when gringos move here, they bring their problems like they did in Costa Rica and Panama. I have friends in Panama, and they complain about the other North Americans because they they want the roads paved. They want the people in all nice houses. They don't like people living in shacks on the side. They want public water. They want all the stuff that costs money, taxes. Do it yourself. Don't pay those taxes because you do it yourself. That's the way it should be, the way I think, as much as you can. So you can have a deal here. You can be poor and move here and live here, a better lifestyle than you can in the United States, freer. Nobody messes with me. I do whatever I want, much safer. I don't know anybody in my area that locks their doors. They don't. My car, I leave the keys on. Probably shouldn't say this but so much, but I've left the keys in it for months on end out in the yard. The windows are, open the door, drive away. Nobody's going to come in here and do that. They just don't. Not where I'm at. So we've been very fortunate, very blessed. We don't have a security system, so we do have a shotgun. I got double-aught bugs, so people know that, and they don't mess with me, and they won't mess with you guys too. So, but as far as crime, none. I mean, there's none. Don't leave your wallet in the bus. Somebody else is going to keep your wallet or your phone. Yes, that makes sense. But I will tell you, I had an experience. I left my cell phone on the counter at the local panaderia, which is a bakery. And I was sitting there gabbing with them, doing the exchange rate, and I set my phone down and didn't notice that I left it there. And I came back about 40 minutes later, an hour later, or whatever, and they said, "Hey, Jim, here's your phone." That wouldn't happen in the United States unless you're in a small town. And I'm in a small town here, and the people, they look out for me, and that's good. I'm the gringo. Everybody knows me. That I'm nice to everybody. Everybody loves me because of that. I give rides to people whenever I see a hitchhiker on our road. I don't let people's wives and their little kids walk in the rain on the gravel road. No, I pick them up and give them a ride all the way to their house. Even means going past my house, because I wouldn't want my kids doing that and having a 3-year-old kid walking out in the rain with his mom carrying 10 bags of groceries. No, I help the people out, and they help you out, and they know that too. It's called being neighbors. They used to have that in the United States, especially in the South, where I was from, in South Carolina. They don't have that so much in the South anymore. They might have it in places in South Carolina. They might have it in the low state, upstate, in North Carolina, western North Carolina. That's why they talk there. I don't know. I didn't see it so much anymore. I saw it to be, I'm in for what I can get, and that's what I'm going to get. Well, here, my neighbors look out for me. So that's kind of my summary on living here a little bit and values here in Chile, what you can do and not do, and can you afford to move here? Yes. We have friends that live here on their Social Security alone. The husband gets about $1,500, wife gets about $1,500. That's about $3,000 a month. That's over double. That's 3 times what I'm taking in for 5 of us. So I will say I'm poor. I'm poor, and I don't mind being poor. I like being poor. I own everything I have, and I don't ask anybody for anything, and they don't bug me. I horse trade a lot. Love horse trade. So I can do it. You can do it. Save your money. Liquidate what your holdings, your assets are in the United States. Get rid of them. You don't need all that crap. I brought a bunch of stuff I shouldn't have brought, and now I know what I should have brought. But and if you want to know, call me and I'll tell you, or email me, jim.dorchak@gmail. So if you have questions about this or anything, or you want to call me on the carpet where I'm wrong or I'm crazy, please do that. I don't mind. I'm not the end all to get all, of knowledge here in Chile, but I try to tell you what I've learned from my experiences. So I appreciate you coming to my channel. I appreciate your time today, and I really would appreciate if you'd spread the word about my channel, the people interested in what life is like being an expat and the things that I'm doing here. And I'd appreciate a thumbs up and a subscription if you're not subscribed. So ciao from Chile, expat family, and y'all have a nice weekend. Thank you. Ciao from Chile, expat.